Hello everybody, welcome back to the Young Fan Podcast. Welcome to the Fixture Release Day reaction. It's currently 9 o'clock on the 23rd of June and it's Fixture Release Day in Sky Bet League 1 and of course the leagues across the EFL. I'm very excited about this one. I don't normally get excited about the fixtures being released, but I think it's because we haven't had an international tournament. Any talk about football is getting me excited and it's certainly exciting me now. I haven't seen a single fixture as of yet, so you're going to get my live reaction. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel. I'm going to be talking about the opening game of the season. What is the opening day going to be looking like? What are the big games? What are the big derbies looking like? And when are they occurring across this next season? And of course, the final games of the season as well. We'll be wrapping up this next League One campaign. I can't believe we're talking about finishing it. We haven't even started it as of yet. Now, of course, clubs have not yet finished their transfer business. Some teams haven't even started their transfer business yet. So a lot of this is paper and speculation. However, as always, in the comments down below, let me know how you're feeling. Leave a like and subscribe. And for the first time, let's have a look what these fixtures are. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Wow. 30th of July, Accrington Stanley will be opening the season against Charlton, hosting Charlton. Of course, new manager Ben Garner has come in. A couple of signings he signed and were brought in 2 days ago. So looked as though Charlton are really refreshing that squad. They certainly need it. Not a great season for them last year. And with new manager Ben Garner, who did well, very well at Swindon. He's going to come in and hopefully do what every manager wants to do, every new manager wants to do especially, and get that first win on the opening day of the season at your new club. It's exactly what new managers want to do. But of course, managers already in place. Accrington Stanley, who's got the longest standing manager as of recording, John Coleman, he's also going to want to be starting the season with a bang and starting the season at home with 3 points. Now, Bristol Rovers and Forest Green Rovers, very interesting. Two sides newly promoted into League One this year. Of course, both having really good League One campaigns, clearly, because they're now in League One playing against each other, making their League One debuts against each other. Cambridge United host MK Dons, of course, a very good MK Dons side last year, an exceptional side, 3rd in the league, but Cambridge as well. A lot of people, including myself, predicted them to get relegated. They're staying in League One, clearly, hence why they're in this fixture release, and they did very well. Mark Bonner seems to be an extremely exciting manager who has done very well at Cambridge United, and he's going to be hosting MK Dons. As a recording, have kept hold of Scott Twine, but have lost Harry Darling, but have replaced him with Jack Tucker. So it seems as though MK Dons have got a transfer strategy. They've been very busy already in this window. Cheltenham, similar to Cambridge, very good year last year, but have lost Michael Duff. He's gone to Barnsley. We'll touch on Barnsley's fixture in just a few moments, but he has gone to there, and they're yet to appoint a new manager as a recording, and their captain, William Boyle, has gone to the Championship to play for Huddersfield. So, some big leadership losses at Cheltenham. Let's hope before their game against Peterborough, newly relegated Peterborough, they've got all that sorted out, because at the moment, there's some big figures lost in that football club. And here we go then, Oxford United, they'll be travelling to Derby County Pride Park on the opening game of the season. This is an extremely tough game of football. Now, of course, we can't talk about Derby without discussing the situation at that football club. Very concerning at the moment. As of recording, like I said, fixture release day, a new bid or a potential buyer has not yet occurred, unfortunately, which is a very concerning time at Derby, and time, unfortunately, is running out. Now, 2 withdrawal bids from Chris Kirchner, I believe that's his name. He doesn't look like he's going to be buying the football club. We did discuss it. I've got an episode coming out tomorrow talking about all the big headlines across League One, and of course, Derby is a very significant one, but very sad one, because as of recording, we do not know the future of Derby County as a football club. Wayne Rooney and of course all the players, I believe there's 5 contracted players going into pre-season. Very worrying times, and let's hope, again, we will be touching it in more detail in a podcast coming tomorrow, but I think we have to talk about it. I think it's a situation at the moment where there's a lot of turmoil, it's a lot of uncertainty, and that's a really worrying position to be in going into a pre-season, of course, going into a season. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. We don't know what that game is going to provide when we look at the situation at that football club, but no doubt at all, going to Pride Park, a newly relegated side from the Championship, who did very well in the Championship last year, even getting relegated. They had a very large point deduction, but at moments throughout the season, few people thought they were going to pull off an absolute miracle. Wayne Rooney clearly proven to be a very good manager. So I believe, if they have more than 5 contracted players, Wayne Rooney's going to get the best out of those lads. And I think Oxford United have got a very difficult challenge on the opening game of the season, travelling to a newly relegated Championship side. It's not an easy start to season whatsoever. I I said it throughout the entirety of last year. What game is easy in League One? Absolutely none, to be honest. This is going to be a really quite tough one. And I saw this for the first time right now. And that's not a nice way to start the season. But is there a nice way? It's going to be a challenge. Every game is going to be difficult. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen here. Oxford United need to pull their finger out because they've got a lot of transfer business to do. I spoke about at the start, some sides haven't started their transfer business. Well, Oxford are one of those. A lot of players at the moment have left the club. Our best centre-back last year, arguably, in Luke McNally, looks to be going to Burnley. So there's a little bit of transfer confusion, I think, at Oxford at the moment. So hopefully we can get that sorted out before that opening game of the season. But bigger things to concern around Derby County. Let's hope their entire football club sorts itself out before the start of the season. I think I'm speaking on behalf of all football fans here in saying, hopefully, things turn around at Derby County. Now, this is an absolutely big game next. A gigantic game of football. Ipswich Town against Bolton Wanderers. Talk about a fiery opener. Ipswich, of course, very, very busy already in the window. Current bookies' favourites to win the league. And Bolton Wanderers, who have also been very busy in the transfer window as well. I believe they are also in contention for the bookies to finish in that top six. Those two sides who have done a lot of business, but some exceptional business, I think, so far. Very sensible transfers into their football club. I think this is going to be a massive game to kick off between those sides. Both clubs, like I said, fighting to try and get promoted. Ipswich and Bolton Wanderers, two huge football clubs as well in terms of size and history and fan base as well. This is going to be an exciting opener. I can predict that straight away. Now, Lincoln City, of course, under new management. Michael Appleton has gone to Blackpool. So they've, of course, got a new manager in. They'll be hosting newly promoted Exeter City. Morecambe, who stayed up last year very, very well, thanks to Cole Stockton, been a huge part of that. Let's see if he can stay, because that could really influence their first game of the season against Shrewsbury Town. Plymouth Argyle, they'll be hosting newly relegated Barnsley, of course, under new management now, Michael Duff. I watched his press conference yesterday. He seems to be really understanding the long-term ambitions at Barnsley. He seems to be somebody that's going to come in and his idea is bring the players and bring the football club closer to the fans. Been a bit of a disconnect recently with the community, with the local town. So it's going to be interesting to see what Michael Duff does there. But he's got to travel to Plymouth, who did very, very well last year. A lot of people did not predict them to do as well as they did. And of course, they've already been quite busy in the window as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Port Vale, that of course promoted last year from League Two, they'll be hosting Fleetwood Town, also under new management. Scott Brown, the ex-Celtic man, the ex-Scottish legend, you could say, up there. He's been very, very good up in Scotland now, making his managerial debut for Fleetwood Town. I've been very, very impressed with them so far, doing their business a little bit on the low, a bit low-key business at Fleetwood, but they seem to be doing very, very well. And the players they are bringing in seem to be really bolstering that squad ahead of are going to be, once again, a season that wasn't brilliant last year, but he's going to be really hoping he can bring some success and climb them up that League One table. Sheffield Wednesday, of course, knocked out in the semi-final against Sunderland for the playoffs last season. They'll be hosting Pompey. That is a tough game. I spoke with Tom 4-0 and over it. We said what are your ambitions. You haven't checked out that video, by the way. It's on the channel right now. We spoke about Pompey, and a quick start, a big start is going to be very, very important. Getting off to a fly for all of these clubs is going to be very, very key. But I spoke about it with Tom, of course, a huge Portsmouth fan. 4-0 and over it, a British channel as well. Go and check it out. But we spoke about a quick start, an important start with some 3 points. I mean, that's not going to be an easy 3 points whatsoever. Sheffield Wednesday on the opening game of the season away from home. A travel to Hillsborough on the 30th of July. That's going to be a big, big game, and one I'm sure Pompey are going to be a little bit nervous around, I imagine. But all sides are going to be nervous going into the first game, but Sheffield Wednesday as well, a side who have big ambitions to get promoted, and Pompey as well, who have been doing their business at the moment on the low a little bit, but they've got a first player in yesterday. Marlon Pack joins the club. They're going to be hoping to add some more players in there, and Danny Cowley's looking to bolster that squad to prepare for ultimately this game against Sheffield Wednesday. And finally, the last game for the 30th of July, the opening game of the League One season, Wycombe Wanderers against Burton Albion. Wycombe, of course, got to that playoff final last season, but lost to Sunderland at Wembley Stadium, and Burton Albion, who did okay last year, 16th in the league. I think Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank will be fairly pleased with that. No worry about relegation, but couldn't push into that promotion push. Will they be hoping for a promotion campaign? I'm sure all clubs will be, but will they be looking as that next step up now? We'll have to wait and see. But a travel to Adams Park, Wycombe Wanderers will not be an easy start to the season whatsoever. So that is all of the opening day fixtures released on the 23rd of June. Of course, ready for the 30th of July. Accrington Stanley against Charlton Athletic. Bristol Rovers against against Forest Green Rovers, Cambridge United against MK Dons, Cheltenham against Peterborough United, Derby County against Oxford United, a big one here, Ipswich against Bolton Wanderers, Lincoln City against Exeter City, Morecambe against Shrewsbury Town, Plymouth Argyle against Barnsley, Port Vale against Fleetwood Town, and Sheffield Wednesday against Pompey, and the final, last but certainly not least, Wycombe Wanderers against Burton Albion. Some big games in there, some decisive games, which sounds silly considering it's the first game of the season, but like we talk about sides that need to be getting off to a quick start. Every football club, every manager and every fan is going to be hoping that will be that football club, but not every club whatsoever will be getting off with 3 points. Will it be your club? Let me know in the comments down below how you feeling with the opening date fixtures being released. Right, let's move on to August, the 6th of August. Who have Oxford got next? The first home game of the season for Oxford against Cambridge United. At Pompey, they will host Lincoln City. I'm trying to pick out the big ones. MK Dons against Sheffield Wednesday as well. That's going to be really quite interesting. I mean, Michael Duff, in his second game of the season, will be going against his former club at home, of course, hosting Charlton Town as the new Barnsley manager. Bolton against Wycombe Wanderers. Bolton have got some tough games to kick things off. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday? It was Ipswich first game of the season, wasn't it? And then home against Wycombe. So some sides there. I mean, every side that they've played so far were in and around the top six last year. Ipswich not as much, but still a side certainly this year. Bookies' favourite to win the league. They certainly are a favourite to be this year. So very difficult start for them. Then Oxford United travel to Bristol Rovers. A bit of a derby, you could say there. Not really in terms of, it's not really a known derby, but in terms of looking at it from the map perspective, from a geography perspective, it's a little bit of a derby. Not a far place to travel, you could say. Derby County, they'll be going against Barnsley, so newly relegated sides going against each other on the 13th of August, where Bolton, okay, they've got Port Vale, which will still be a difficult game away from home, but that sort of run of playing sides that have got ambitions to finish in the top six, I think might take a stop. That they got Port Vale, who I imagine will be hoping just to stay in the league this year. Let's move on to the 16th of August, and then we'll sort of move on a little bit further on into the season. Oxford then host Lincoln City. That'll be a Tuesday, by the way. That's the first Tuesday of the season. Can't beat a game under lights on the 16th of August. Look forward to that. Charlton, they'll be hosting Plymouth Argyle. Ipswich will travel to Burton Albion, and Bolton Wanderers will host Morecambe, while Barnsley will host Bristol Rovers as well. Pompey are going to be playing Cambridge United. Some big Tuesday night games for that one. I said we were going to move on, but I can't help it. We're on a roll now. Bolton against Sheffield Wednesday. Is that 4 games? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in? And Bolton have played at least, they're now going to be playing the first 3 games of their 5, let's say, for Bolton have been very challenging. For me, I think Bolton are the side to really watch out for, because we talk about sides trying to get a quick start, especially sides that are going to be looking to go up and get promoted. We knew that 80 points wasn't enough last year, so getting points early doors, you don't want to be a side that gets to the end of the season like Oxford really were last year, looking back and going, if only we picked up points there. I mean, Bolton have got a very difficult start. We said the importance of getting a quick start, getting a fast start, while Bolton have got a very challenging set of fixtures. We don't know the situation, of course. Sheffield Wednesday could have an absolute stinker and could be losing their first 3 games of the season, and Bolton could be very heavy favourites going into that game, but you don't know because it's that early in the season. You don't even know, looking at the first result, what that could look like. What's your opposition going to be looking like come the end of the season? What's that result going to look like? You can't really tell until the end of the year, really, or at least till Christmas. So really interesting. Oxford will be looking at Morecambe for that game as well. So I'm going to be completely honest. I think after our opening game against Derby, Oxford have got I'm never going to use the word nice fixtures, but certainly ones where you feel that Oxford should be favourites going into it, and if not, it's and also being at home, that's also going to help that as well. So that'll be interesting. And Saturday the 27th of August, Oxford are going to be travelling, I believe, to Cheltenham. So another similar time to last season, I believe. We played Cheltenham quite early in the season last year, so we look forward to going to that one. Derby and Peterborough going head-to-head, 2 sides relegated, of course. Ipswich against Barnsley, very big game there. And we've got to look at Bolton, because Bolton seem to be getting it harder and harder. What game have they got here? They've got Plymouth, so it doesn't get much easier for Bolton. If you're a Bolton Wanderers fan, by the way, let me know in the comments down below. I've sort of accidentally focused on Bolton a lot in this episode. I'm an Oxford fan. It seems as though I'm a Bolton fan when I'm sort of going through this, but I'm just intrigued to see what they've got, because their first 6 games in this League One season are very challenging. So, they all will be, but certainly for Bolton, these seem to be some really quite tough ones. Right, let's move on. Let's skip a bit into September. Let's go to the Christmas period. What have we got for the Christmas period? Let's show some more. let's have a look at Christmas, because, of course, Christmas is very, very jam-packed. It's when we talk about sides really having to stretch themselves in terms of squads. Where will these sides be in Christmas? We have no idea, but what are we going to be looking at? So looking at December then, 3rd of December, Accrington will be against Oxford United. Interesting. What else have we got here? Plymouth against Port Vale, Peterborough against Barnsley, Ipswich against Fleetwood, Derby against Sheffield Wednesday, a big game there. Bolton will be hosting Bristol Rovers, and Charlton will be hosting Cheltenham. Wickham against Pompey as well on the 3rd of December. Very, very interesting. Saturday the 10th of December, so yeah, we've got a week there, but I imagine as well, if there's any postponed games or games being rearranged, we'll probably have some Tuesdays in between this as well. Oxford against Barnsley, that's a big game. A tough game as well on the 10th of December. What else how are we looking at here? Ipswich against Peterborough. I mean, once again, we speak about the level of competitivity and the size of these clubs, both, in terms of fan base, history, stature, all of that. League One's a little bit like a well, isn't it? When you've sort of got that well where it's getting sort of thrown these big sides into it, and you feel as though you can get out of this well. I don't know why I'm using this well analogy, but it seems to be, it's working in my head. It probably isn't for everyone else, but you sort of get thrown in, it's getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and as you sort of look up, another big side is just being thrown down, and you're sort of like scrambling to try and get your way out of it. And just our Sunderland fans, they were in here for 5 years, but you feel as though every single match week is got a massive game between two sides. Every single match week there's one where you go, that's going to be an absolute corker, that's going to be very important, that's going to be a fascinating game of football. And that's what League One has created. That's exactly what League One is all about. It's about now sides who have been in the Premier League, top sides in the Championship, sides as well being given chances that were in the National League a few years ago, in non-league, and they've all come together. And it's such a fascinating league. It was last year, and I'm so looking forward to covering it again next season, because there's so much to chat about. Right, let's quickly carry on looking. What have we got on the 17th of December? Some big games there. Sheffield Wednesday, that's when we'll be travelling to Sheffield Wednesday. Of course, I went there last year. Very, very beautiful game of football. 2-1 win, hence why I probably would use the word beautiful. Very, very nice last-minute winner at Hillsbury. Can't really beat that sort of stuff for a Saturday. Plymouth against Morecambe. Pompey will be playing against MK Dons. Very, very big game of football there. And Wickham against Ipswich Town. Ipswich seems to be having quite a tough December period, you could say. Yeah, Ipswich against Fleetwood, but then they've got, which will be tough. We don't know what Fleetwood are going to be like, but, under Scott Brown with some exciting transfers coming in, that could be a real, real challenge. And then home to Peterborough, and then away to Pompey, is that? Yeah. Away to Wickham, and Pompey have got MK Dons. And then on Boxing Day, Monday the 26th, on Boxing Day, Oxford United have got a away game, looks like, away to Ipswich. Wow, absolutely buzzing for that. We'll be going to Portsmouth Road on Boxing Day. Ipswich against Oxford United. Of course, I went to that one last year as well. That was a 0-0 draw, but hopefully it won't be a 0-0 draw again this season. Hopefully Oxford can come away with the 3 points, but that won't be easy whatsoever. This Christmas period is going to be very, very fascinating. I really can't wait for it. On the 29th of December, Oxford will be playing against Charlton Athletic. This is a tough Christmas period for Oxford. The Christmas period for Oxford is very, very challenging just on face value. Ipswich against Pompey. Ipswich and Oxford have got very, very difficult Christmas periods. Both of those sides, where will they be at that point in the season when we talk about December? But I would say, looking at it right now, those two sides have a very, very challenging Christmas period. Sheffield Wednesday will play against Port Vale, Shrewsbury against Cheltenham, MK Dons and Peterborough will be going head-to-head as well. And as we move into the new year, the 1st of January, New Year's Day, Oxford will be hosting Exeter City, Ipswich against Lincoln City, Derby against Accrington Stanley, Barnsley against Bolton Wanderers, very, very big one there, and Shrewsbury Town against Fleetwood Town. Sheffield Wednesday will be hosting Cambridge United as well. Right, let's move on then to the final games of the season. Of course, in May, only one set of fixtures in May, it looks like. Closing down the season, what are we looking at? Oxford have got a home game for the final game of the season. Will that matter? Hopefully, there'll be something to play for on the final game of the season at home to Accrington Stanley. Sheffield Wednesday against Derby County as well. Very, very big one. And Lincoln City against Shrewsbury. Cheltenham against Charlton. Cambridge United against Forest Green Rovers. Burton against MK Dons. Bristol Rovers and Bolton Wanderers will be going head-to-head as well. And Barnsley against Peterborough, two sides relegated. Will they be hoping on the final game of the season to go into the Championship? Will one of those sides be hoping to get themselves into the Championship on the final game of the season? We'll have to wait and see. This has been a bit of a quick run through on all of the fixtures. It's fixture release day, and I'm now very, very excited. If you're excited, let me know in the comments down. Leave a like. Subscribe. We're so close to 1.7 thousand subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. It really would mean the world. Some big, big games in there. Some sides really, really quite... that means there's periods of the season where there's some very tough ones. Oxford Christmas looks to be quite challenging as well, with Ipswich as well. Bolton have a very, very difficult difficult start to the season, you would say as well. And as well, I'd say the opening game of the season, Derby against Oxford. Hopefully we'll have to see a Derby County side be saved through a takeover. That'll be what I think all fans are looking for, so I'm intrigued to see what happens in the opening game of the season, but of course, priority at the moment is saving Derby County. Let me know in the comments down below all of your thoughts about this one, and I look forward to replying and responding to all of them as per usual. Very, very exciting times. I've been Jack. This has been the Young Fan Podcast. Take care, stay safe. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode, looking at all the headlines from Sky Bet League One, the first 2 weeks of this transfer window. I've been Jack, like I said, and it's all very, very soon. Take care.